In this video, I want to show you how to use a dirt bike gear shifter. What's up guys, I'm Dakota Freeman and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. It's going to be so important that when we want to get better on our dirt bikes, that we learn how to use the dirt bike gear shifter the proper way. It's going to be so important that when we want to get better, that we're in the correct gear at the correct time. Well, to be in the correct gear, we're going to need to know how to use the dirt bike gear shifter and when to shift properly. The dirt bike gear shifter is how we go up through the gears, down through the gears, and put the bike in the gear that we want to be in. To use the dirt bike gear shifter the correct way, we're actually going to have to use the throttle and the clutch with the gear shifter. The best way to use our dirt bike gear shifter is going to be to always let our throttle off and to pull in our clutch. When we pull in the clutch, we can then use our gear shifter to shift up or shift down depending on what you want to do. The dirt bike gear shifter is located by our left foot. We're going to actually have to use our left foot to tap the gear shifter down or put our foot underneath the gear shifter and pick it up to actually shift through our gears. This is going to be a huge step to becoming a better rider, as we're going to have to use all 5 of the dirt bike controls sometimes at the same time. And multitasking with all these different controls can be difficult at the beginning, but just keep working on it and soon you won't have to think about it and your body's going to start naturally responding to what you want to do. So when we're learning how to use our gear shifter, we're going to have to get comfortable using our left foot to either hit the gear shifter down or pick the gear shifter up. At the same time we're doing this, we're going to have to think about making sure that we have the throttle off and that we pulled the clutch in. This is just going to make sure that when we do shift through our gears using our gear shifter, that it shifts in the easiest way possible and that we don't miss a gear and accidentally put the dirt bike in neutral. So using our gear shifter is going to be a huge step in our dirt bike riding, and it's not something that you can overlook. You're going to have to get comfortable using the throttle, you're going to have to get comfortable using the clutch, and at the same time as using both those controls, you're going to have to get comfortable using our gear shifter. So make sure you just practice using your gear shifter with your foot, and soon you're not going to have to think about this anymore. Other things that we're going to have to be able to do with our dirt bike gear shifter is going to be to actually know that we're in the right gear at the right time. So when we're coming into a corner and we want to slow the dirt bike down, we can actually use our clutch and our gear shifter to help engage the engine brake to help slow us down as well. The engine brake is when we actually use the gears to shift down, and this naturally raises the RPM level and slows the bike down using the motor. Not just using our brakes, but using the engine in this kind of way to help slow the dirt bike down is going to be a huge step to becoming a better rider. And honestly, out on the tracks and trails, we're going to have to use our engine brake combined with our front brake and our back brake if we want to stop in the best way possible. Also, when we're out on the trails and tracks, if we're coming down giant hills, you're going to have to use your engine brake by shifting down with the gear shifter to actually slow the bike down as you're coming down these big hills. And don't worry whenever we shift down like this and it raises the RPMs very high. It's very normal for a dirt bike motor to go through this, and once we engage the engine brake, we can use our front brake and our back brake to help slow the bike down as well to get the RPM level a little bit lower. And if it gets too low, we can actually shift down again into the next gear down, and this is going to continue engaging the engine brake to help stop the dirt bike. If you do shift down and you feel like the RPMs are just really high, you do want to use your other brakes to actually get the RPM level a little bit lower and help bring the bike to a stop. But using our gear shifter in this kind of way to shift down is really what we need to do to help stop the bike with our gears. So when we're learning on our dirt bikes and we want to get better, we need to practice using our gear shifter in this kind of way to help slow the bike down. We're also going to need to know how to shift up through the gears to actually get in the higher gears to go faster on our dirt bikes. No matter if we're shifting up or we're shifting down, we're always going to want to go through the same order of operations with our throttle, our clutch, and our gear shifter. This way we can shift through our gears smoothly and actually get into the right gear without missing a gear and putting the bike in neutral accidentally. So using your gear shifter is going to be a huge part of your dirt bike riding and something you really need to practice over time. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. Other ways that we can get comfortable with using our gear shifter is going to be to actually get comfortable with moving our feet back and forth off the pegs. Especially when we're learning, it's going to be difficult because we're going to want to feet on the pegs, and we're going to actually have to move them to the gear shifter and then put them back on the pegs. We always want to make sure that we're standing on the balls of our feet, and this is going to be important because as we're standing on the balls of our feet, we can simply just pick our foot up and move it to the gear shifter and be able to use the ball of your feet as well to shift down, or to place your toe underneath the gear shifter and to pick up to shift up. It's going to be very important that you get comfortable with moving your feet forward and back on your dirt bike. As we're constantly going through our gears and shifting up and shifting down to get in the proper RPM range for what we're doing on the tracks and trails. So we're constantly going to have to be moving our feet forward and back to shift and then to put them back in the proper place on our pegs. As you work on this over time, it's going to get easier, and your body's naturally going to be putting your feet back where they need to go and standing on the balls of your feet. And as you get comfortable with your dirt bike and can feel the RPM range, before you even think about having to shift down or shift up to get in the right gear, your body will naturally respond just from hearing the RPMs of the motor. And this is really what's going to push you to the next level. Once you can listen to the dirt bike and listen to the gear range and know where the RPM level needs to be, we don't want it too high and we don't want it too low. We want it always kind of right in the middle. And then as we accelerate, it's going to get higher in the RPMs. And once we climb to a certain point of RPM level, we need to shift up to keep us in the optimum power range. If we hold on the throttle and we just wind the gear all the way out, eventually the power is going to plateau out and we're going to run out of power. And this is really what we want to avoid, especially when we're trying to get better and faster on our dirt bikes. So you're going to get comfortable using our gear shifter so much that as you're increasing in acceleration and the RPMs are getting higher, your body's going to naturally hear the point that you need to shift, and you're going to go through all the order of operations and shift your dirt bike using your gear shifter to get in the correct gear. So practice using your foot and practice shifting with the gear shifter, especially when you're learning, as it's going to be an important step to becoming a better dirt bike rider. You need to master using your gear shifter on your dirt bike to master your dirt bike riding and all your other controls. Practice with this over time until it's instilled into your riding to become the best rider you can possibly be. If this video helped you out, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. If you're still looking for more dirt bike riding tips, I'm always here. I've made a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that's going to take you from a complete beginner and walk you through being an advanced rider, mastering the tracks and trails. Also, you can find all my rad merch over on the website as well. Make sure you click the subscribe button that's right here and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video right here. Stay rad, and I'll see you over there.